Who is an independent child? An independent child is that child that is self assured. An independent child is a self aware child. An independent child is a child who understands his responsibility, who understands what he is supposed to do at a given time. And the independent child is a self-motivated child. I know a lot of parents are constantly worried that they do not see their children functioning in this category, right? So you feel like your child is super dependent on you, super, relying on you for every validation, for every approval, and it begins to get to you because it's emotionally draining. I really get that. We want our children to take decisions and be responsible, especially when they have actually clocked a certain age. But when we don't see these things, it's not an opportunity for us to begin to compare our child with another seeming child that seems to be doing all of these things and checking all the boxes. But it's time for us to go back to ourselves and begin to ask, what do I do to raise an independent child? In today's video, we're going to be learning what a parent who wants to raise an independent child must begin to do right now, especially if you've pampered your child and you have spoiled your child to stupor. Keep watching and don't forget to subscribe so that you get to be notified on every empowering content we post. So number one, don't do for your child what he or she can do for themselves. A lot of parents quickly want to do everything for their children because they feel like their children are never going to do it well, or they're going to take time, or they're going to get a lot of things missing. This is the singular reason why your child continues to depend on him, because he knows that you're going to come in and fix the mess. He knows that you're going to come in and clear up the environment. But no, if your child can really do a thing, little things as a child after eating should know that he or she should take his plates to the kitchen. Don't let your children eat, leave the plates on the table and go watch the TV. No. As young as 2 years old, you can begin to give your children age appropriate chores. In one of my videos, I've really talked about the importance of letting your children experience and become part of the labor force at home, and that's exactly doing home chores, right? So this really builds independence in your child. And so what your children can do, don't do it for them. It's just a single rule. I know you're that parent that wants to protect your child. You're that parent that doesn't want your child to go through the stress and the hurdles that you went through. So you feel like I've gone through all of this for you to have fun and to enjoy and for life to just be easy for you. But you know that even when they get out of the roots or out of the roof of your house, you're not going to be there doing a lot of things for them. So you don't want life to teach them. You want to create that same simulation in your home. And because your home is a safer place for them to practice independence. So it's important for you to begin to allow your children to, do things for themselves. Little things as making their beds, cleaning their shoes. You just be that supervising parent. You just be that parent who is always there, nudging them on and encouraging them to keep going, but don't step in and do the tasks for them, right? So that's it. Number two, one other aspect is that parents must let children take decisions for themselves. So are you that parent that constantly wants to tell your child what to eat, what to wear, where to go, friends to make? I understand that you are afraid because, of course, the times are very scary and you want to be in that place where you shield your child from danger. But the truth is that you have to let your children make decisions, of course, under your supervision. So just simple things as clothes they wear. You don't need to pick up all battles, right? You can supervise them, you can give the options, but let them make the final decisions all about themselves. This helps them feel empowered. It helps them feel like, oh, I can actually make this decision for myself. I can actually determine what I get to wear. And then when they wear it, there's this feeling that comes from, this is my choice. I made a decision. I get to choose what I get to wear today. And it gives them that sense of ownership of their life. So as a parent, if you continue to make all the decisions for your children, they're never going to own their life. The moment you want them to begin to own their life, you'll find out that they have been programmed to depend depend on you to keep making the decisions for them. So then they become adults and they're like, mommy, who should I get married to? Mommy, where should I live? Which school should I go to? No. If your child has been given the opportunity to start making little decisions from the onset, from childhood, your child will be empowered and love and confident in him or her own self, that I can make decisions that will, generate the best possible result for myself. So I always say this. Everything is all about supervising. You as the parent, you're always there to be like the guard and the spectator and the supervisor that ensures that the choices that your child is making will not amount to something disastrous. And when I talk about something disastrous, that is something that's going to affect their health, or somebody else's life is at risk, or their own life is at risk, as far as that decision does not interfere with any health hazard, let your children make the decisions and let them learn. Yes, even if you know that these decisions that they are making is going to cause them a little pain, a little discomfort, it is healthy for them to have that discomfort and that pain early enough. And then you, as the adult in the environment, you stay as the guard, you stay as the mentor in that child's life, and give the child the necessary feedback, give the child the necessary motivation and encouragement to get up again and try and try and try. So that's actually your role as a parent, not to teach a child not to teach a child what to think rather, but to teach a child how to think. And teaching a child how to think is literally leaving your child and giving your child that permission to make a decision for themselves and see the outcome of that decision and begin to get back to themselves and say, oh, this decision that I've made, this is the outcome. Do I really like this decision? And they would go back to their drawing board and make a more better decision. So for me, this really works timeless. Thirdly, you don't want to overprotect your children. So you're not that kind of parent that every little thing you want to come to school and show that your child has a mom or show that your child has a dad. I get it. You don't want anybody to step on your child's toes. You want your child to be protected and all of that. But this, in essence, is giving you a bad result, because this child is always going to be waiting on you to keep protecting them even when they are married or when they are adults, and you don't want this to happen. So let your children learn how to fight their own battles. Just be their coach, like I always say. Position yourself as their mentor. Let that connection be there, because it's crazy if your child doesn't come back and tell you things that are happening. So you wouldn't even know how to, give them the right help, give them the right information and the right story that will help them go back and try again. So you want to first of all develop a connecting relationship with your child. When you do that, you'll be so sure that your child is going to tell you everything. So you, as the adult, where do you come in? You come in as that parent that helps them to process the event so that they don't internalize it or begin to have a negative or a wrong perspective about that event. But you want to help them to sharpen their perspective towards that event and have a growth mindset towards it, so that they see it as an opportunity for them to do better next time, right? So that is really your function. It's just like, the wrestling game. The coach just stays out there and lets the wrestlers do the fight. So the coach is just there to supervise, to cheer them on, and to, give them that encouragement they need to go back into the ring and keep fighting. So that is what you want. You want to build those tolerance muscles early. You want to build that resilience muscles early, because if those muscles are not built from childhood, they would be definitely very weak. It's just synonymous to what happens in the gym. If you don't train, your whole body will get weak. But if you train and train and train often, you find out that you're strengthened and you develop muscles that are resistant. So if you don't create that simulations in the home where it's safe and under your watch, life is going to create a real life situation where your child will definitely need to protect himself, and he will come running back to you, and at that moment you may just be so old to step in and fight for them as you've always done. So you want to raise independent child. These are the 3 things you must do. First of all, don't keep making all the decisions for them. Give them opportunities to make decisions. Have that conversation with them. Let them make the decisions. Even if you know that those decisions are wrong, let it play out. Let them see how their decision play out, and then give them a feedback. And if it goes right, let them receive the joy. Let them own their victories. Let them own their success. Let them not always keep attaching their victories and their successes or their failures and their, mishappenings to their parents or the adults in their life. Let them own it. Let them take responsibility of their failures and take responsibility of their victories, right? So let them make the decisions. Don't overprotect your child. And thirdly, don't do for your child what he or she can do for themselves. Try these tricks, and I'm sure you'll be leaving a feedback sooner than later. Thank you, and God bless you.